Before there were explanations, before belief systems, before reason tried to make sense of the world, there was descent. Across cultures, across thousands of years, the pattern repeats. Not ascent, not conquest, but a turning inward, downward. The ancients understood something we still struggle to accept, that transformation does not begin with answers. It begins with surrender. This chapter is not about myth as story. It's about myth as instruction, about what must be stripped away, what must be faced, and what must be lost before anything new can emerge. This is the descent, not into fantasy, but into the deepest structure of human becoming. Walk carefully. What you bring back matters.
Okay, so you mentioned descent. That's a big theme, isn't it?
Huge. In myths all around the world, there's this recurring shape. The hero doesn't just climb a mountain and wave a flag. They descend into caves, underworlds, the unconscious, before anything can truly begin.
Joseph Campbell called it the belly of the whale, right?
Exactly. That moment when everything familiar disappears. You're alone, vulnerable, facing something ancient, often something terrifying. And there's no map. This is the symbolic death before rebirth.
So let's talk about one of the most powerful examples, Inanna. This story is seriously intense.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest surviving myths on Earth. Sumerian. Inanna, goddess of love, war, and fertility, descends into the underworld, the realm of her sister, Ereshkigal, goddess of death and shadow.
But she doesn't just stroll in. She's summoned by a call she doesn't fully understand. And as she descends, she's stripped at each of the 7 gates. First, her crown, then her jewelry, her robes, symbols of power, status, identity, until she stands naked before death itself.
And then she dies. Her lifeless body is hung on a hook in the underworld. Total vulnerability, total surrender. It's not a punishment, it's a passage.
But she returns. She's revived, not by her own power, but through others who descend to grieve her. And when she rises, she's not the same. She brings back something more than life. She brings back knowledge, power, a deeper intimacy with death and with her own shadow.
And that pattern, descent, ordeal, return, echoes through so many traditions. Orpheus in the Greek underworld, the Buddha beneath the Bodhi tree, Jesus, 3 days in the tomb.
It's not just a hero story, it's a transformation story. It's about what must die for something new to live.
Carl Jung nailed this. He said the first step toward wisdom is meeting the shadow, the parts of ourselves we usually hide or reject.
Right, and that's the real trial. Not swinging swords, but facing yourself, which, let's be honest, might be harder than slaying a hydra.
Much harder, especially before coffee.
So the underworld becomes a symbol for the unconscious, the unknown within. You go down to meet your demons, and if you survive it, you come back with a gift.
The Greeks called it the boon. In Welsh myth, Taliesin, a young boy, is swallowed by the goddess Ceridwen, digested, and then reborn as the greatest poet in the land.
Digested poetry. That's evocative.
The symbolism's rich though. Swallowed, transformed, reborn with new vision. And the vision isn't just personal. It's meant to serve the community. That's key. Descent is never just about you. It's about what you're bringing back.
Which makes you wonder, how often do we run from our own descent? From pain, crisis, stillness. The very things that could crack us open.
Exactly. And maybe the myth of Inanna reminds us of something we've forgotten. That transformation doesn't come through control. It comes through surrender, through descent.
So instead of asking, How do I avoid the descent? Maybe the better question is, what needs to die in me for something deeper to live?
And are we willing to bring it back for others?
Every culture told this story for a reason, not to frighten, but to prepare, because descent is not failure, it is not weakness, and it is not something to avoid. It is the moment the mask dissolves, the moment power is surrendered, the moment the self is reduced to what is real. In the old myths, those who refused the descent remained unchanged, and those who entered it returned carrying something for others, not certainty, not control, but insight. So perhaps the question is no longer, why do these myths exist, but something far more uncomfortable. What in us is still waiting to descend so that something wiser can return? Hold that question. We'll need it.